You're listening to Main Character Manifesto, where we talk mindset, self-identity, and stepping into your power. I am your host, Ceci, your go-to life coach for real talk and major glow-ups. This is your place to get inspired, get honest, and get moving toward the life you know you're meant to live. Are you ready? Let's get into it.
Who's that girl? That's me, I'm on fire. I'm a hot girl, I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want, this is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal.
Let's do this. So I hope you all enjoyed last week's episode, and I hope you guys were able to implement some of these ideas and thoughts and frameworks into your everyday life, because the more I do this in my own life, I have found such a huge shift. It gave me my power back to really understand that I hold the power in how my day is gonna flow. If something is unexpected and something bad happens or something that's just unpleasant, I have the power to shift my energy, shift my negative thoughts into something positive. So I hope that you've been able to shift your energy into the right direction. But today we're actually going to talk about how to implement that framework into your day. Because it's one thing to understand that your energy matters. It's another thing to run your day with it on purpose. And that's what we're doing today. I am breaking down something called segment intending. And if you've never heard of this, don't worry. It's actually a super simple tool that you can implement and use throughout your day to drastically improve the flow and the energy of your day. It's amazing. So if you're tired of waking up with good intentions and then your energy gets hijacked before noon, then this one's for you. All right, so let's break down what segment intending is. A segment of your day is the little moments that you are having throughout the day. From the moment that you open your eyes to the moment that you get out of bed, that's a segment. The moment that you get out of bed and you walk to the bathroom, that's a segment. The moment that you are in the bathroom and you start brushing your teeth, that's a segment. So now that you know what segments are, you are realizing how many little segments of the day we actually have to be mindful, to be positive, to shift your energy, to gain back control and get that power back whenever there's a shift. Because let's be honest, things are going to happen, our energy is going to shift, but we have so many little segments throughout the day where we can stop, reflect, and take our power back. That is so powerful. That means you have tons of opportunities throughout the day to call back the energy that you want, to stay in a positive energy so that you can attract more of what you want. So I understand that you might be thinking like, oh my God, am I going to be thinking about every single moment of the day? Like every step that I take is going to be a segment? I mean, if you want to, yes, but no, let's not overcomplicate this. Let's just think that you want to start with 6 to 10 segments a day and where you want to be more intentional. Like one of the most important segments of the day is the moment that you wake up. As soon as you wake up and you reach for your phone, that is a segment that you really want to be mindful. And you really want to make sure that you're not reaching for your phone. You're not looking at social media. You're not looking at work emails. You're not looking at your to-do list. You want to set your intention of what you want your day to be. And your first segment could be your morning routine. That could be like, I want a peaceful morning that is intentional, that gives me energy, and that sets the tone for the rest of my day. If you compare that way of thinking to your normal, usual situation where you roll out of bed, look at social media, you're brushing your teeth, looking at your phone, and then you look at your phone for a little bit too long, and now you're late, and now you're going to be late to the gym because now you're going to be late to work. I mean, think about how that domino effect changes things, right? If you are mindful about what your morning segment looks like, then you're not going to be reaching for that phone. And then that's not going to make you late when you're brushing your teeth and scrolling on your phone. And that's not going to make you late to your workout, which is going to then make your workout shorter so that you're not late to work. Do you see how the energy just shifts when you're mindful and when you have an intention for each segment of the day? That also keeps your vibration higher. It keeps your energy at a steady state, and it keeps you feeling good. It keeps those positive feelings flowing from segment to segment, and then you're able to be grateful for everything around you versus feeling like you're late and now you're rushing, and then now you're going to be mad at whoever's around you, and then now little things are going to aggravate you. It just doesn't work when you're not intentional. That means if you go back to last week's episode when we were talking about living by default, that's exactly what living by default is, when you're not being intentional about your day. So with each segment, it's super important for you to really make sure that you are setting the intention for what you want to feel, what you want to achieve in that segment. And then you want to think about what possible things could happen, right? So let's say that you're at work and you're about to have a tough meeting. So what you want to do is you want to take this segment where you get to pre-pave. So you get to think about what are all of the possible outcomes that could happen. So what is my intention for this call? My intention for this call is to get clarity, is to get my message heard, and it is also to understand the other person's message so that we can come together and work on this problem and have a positive outcome. Now, that is your intention. The next step would be to think about what are the possible outcomes that would happen that you are not expecting, or something that might not be what you want, right? So like, let's say that you show up to the call, you have set your intentions, you have your clarity, you're calm, you're collected, you're positive, and then the other person shows up and they're negative, they're not listening, they don't want to be collaborative. You still have the power to take a moment, take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about how you want to move forward. If you think about this call and all of the things that could go wrong before it actually happens, you will be able to shift as soon as something goes left. So because you practiced your call and you were able to think about the possible negative outcomes that could happen, you will be able to shift into a solution versus getting caught off guard and then matching their negative energy. It really makes such a big difference when you take a moment and think about pre-paving what are the actual options that could happen so that you could be ready for anything. And remember, pre-paving for the future is so important. Think about pre-paving as one of the most important things that you could do, because let's say for tonight, right? Let's say for today, you're going to think about 3 segments of your day tomorrow that you're going to pre-pave. It's almost like meal prepping. This is actually like the best analogy I can think about. It actually is perfect, because segment intending and pre-paving your segments for tomorrow is like you're meal prepping your thoughts and your energy for the next day. So just the same way that you're going to set up your nighttime routine, your morning routine, you're going to do your meal prep, and then you're going to have everything ready to go for tomorrow. All of that is pre-paving your day for tomorrow so that you have a better day. It's actually transformative. I swear, when I do this, one of the things that I have gotten so good at, and it's almost like a non-negotiable now, even when I'm tired and if it's late and I'm going to go to sleep, I cannot go to sleep without setting up my stuff for the next day. Filling up my water bottle, getting all my gym stuff ready, and then making sure that as soon as I wake up, all of that is ready to go. That is something that is just like second nature to me. I don't even think about it now. The gym is another thing that I have pre-paved, so much so that it became a habit where I don't even think about it anymore. Yes, it's hard to get out of bed sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but the fact that I know I'm going to go to the gym is a non-negotiable. And I know that by a certain time of the day or by a certain time of the morning, if I'm not up by a certain time, that's going to make me late to the gym and that's going to make me late to work. And I hate that. So I hate cutting my workouts short. That is a non-negotiable for me. So those are habits that I've been able to stack on top of each other because I pre-paved my way into having them become a habit. So now they are second nature. Now it's a lifestyle. Another thing to do is setting a physical anchor. So now this means doing something like putting your hand over your heart and taking a deep breath. And then setting your intention. That really, really connects and aligns all of your energy into the direction that you want to be. It also sends a signal to your brain and it relaxes your nervous system and it just really gets you ready for that next segment that you're going to. All right, let's talk about when we're just not feeling in that good energy because let's be honest, we are all human. We are not going to be in a good mood all of the time, and it is impossible to avoid feeling sad or angry or all of these other feelings. We're human. So let's think about how we can apply this even in those tough times when we're feeling angry or sad or stressed out. How can we shift our energy? Even if it's just 10%, it will make such a big difference. So like, for example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of thinking, oh my God, I have to do this deadline and then that deadline, and then I have to food prep, and then I have to turn that project in, and you just feel like you don't have enough time in the day and like everything is just falling apart, put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and say, what is the next move that I can take right now? So instead of thinking about like big blocks in the segments, break it down. Break it down to like, what is the next step I need to do in this very moment? Because sometimes that is all we can do. If you're feeling irritated or angry at somebody or something, or you're just feeling that fire within that we all have, why don't you ask yourself, how can I soften by 10%? Just 10%. Softening that hard anger and just kind of letting go of that control will make you feel so much better, because as soon as you think, okay, I'm just like letting go 10%, trust me, you will automatically start to just kind of let go and start to shift in a more positive energy. And then think about ways that you can change your language. So you can just be like, okay, for the next 10 minutes, I am only going to focus on taking a deep breath. Or for the next 10 minutes, I don't want to think about anything. I want to just take a break, reset my energy, and walk away from things. Another thing is I am open. I am open to whatever is going to happen, even if it's not what I wanted it to be. Just being open to different scenarios might help you feel better because you're going to release that control of wanting things to only be your way. So this is basically the tools that you want to keep using over and over again so that you start building these habits of reframing your mindset and moving more towards a positive day. Okay, so now let's talk about some pitfalls that you may have while applying segment intending. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't have so many intentions that now all of a sudden it feels like too much work and now that's getting you frustrated and overwhelmed. That's not the point. Keep it as simple as possible. And also, you're not going to remember every single day or every single segment of the day, like from the time that you wake up and to go to the bathroom to brush your teeth, and then from that moment to go to the kitchen, and then from that moment to go and pack your lunch, and then from that moment to change. I understand that we are human and we're going to have things that happen, and the way that our morning flows and our day flows is going to be different day by day, but being mindful of the areas that you know you really need to pre-pave, which a great one, like I said, is your nighttime routine, your morning routine, setting an intention for some activity, setting the intention for healthy habits where you're pre-paving, pre-planning whatever you're going to be eating. Things like that are super important, as well as how your workday is going to go. The workflow, your interactions with colleagues, with your boss, with employees, with your friends, with your family members, with your kids. Making sure that you're able to pause, take a deep breath, and set the intention is going to make a huge difference. Even if you're only able to do it once a day, you can start with once a day, set an intention, and then build upon that. All right, so with that said, let's leave you guys with a little homework. I would love for you guys to try segment intending. For the first time, you can try, maybe for the first week, you can try 1, 2, 3 segments a day. And then the second week, you can go to a higher number, like 4 to 6. And then after that, go wild, go as many as you want. But just be mindful, be kind to yourself, and really focus on that positive energy and pre-paving the next moment so that everything can flow in the direction that you want it to flow. And now the second part of this homework, I want you to track 3 things. Your mood stability, so how you're feeling throughout the day and how you're able to maintain that positive feeling or negative feeling or shift or whatever. Your task completion. So some of your segments are going to be helpful because you're going to be able to focus on that one thing. So thinking about multitasking, like how I mentioned before, and we think about, oh my God, I have to do this and this and this and this. Segment intending is amazing because you can be like, okay, I'm giving myself, my intention for this segment is I'm giving myself 45 minutes to finish this plan, this project, and then by this time, I'm going to be able to submit it. And then you set yourself a 45-minute timer, and then you see how you did, because you're going to have a lot of moments where segment intending is going to help you be more productive. And the third thing I want you to track is your recovery after hiccups. Meaning, let's say that somebody comes into your energy and then, they're in a bad mood, they bring you in a bad mood, and then you all of a sudden start to have a bad day. Start to track how fast you're able to get yourself back out of that negative energy from that segment into the next segment. Okay, so the more you're aware, the faster you're going to be able to recover and to really shift your energy into out of that negative space that somebody else might have gotten you in. So moral of the story is, You don't need more hours. You just need cleaner segments. All right, your last piece of homework is to DM me some segments you have pre-paved for this week, next week, or something that worked really well for you with segment intending. I really want to hear your feedback and I want to know how it's going for you, or leave it in the comments. I would love to see the comments. And with that, we are wrapping up this episode. I will definitely be doing a lot more content about segment intending in Instagram and YouTube Shorts because I feel like this is such a powerful tool that so many people don't know about. So let's keep spreading the word and working on ourselves, and just growing and evolving is just beautiful. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode has helped you and moved you toward the life that you desire. If you like this episode and you feel like a friend will benefit, please share it with them. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you can, review. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps people find the show so that they can become the main character of their own lives. And thank you so much. I will see you next week.